Gosick the anime first premiered on January 8th, 2011 and ended on July 2nd, 2011 by Studio Bones, which we have discussed about before with some of their other anime series that I've reviewed from this channel. The now famous series first got recognized as a series of light novels that were published in 2003 by Kazuki Sakuraba and Hinata Takeda, which concluded weeks after the ending was made to the anime. In 2007, the manga was first published and storied until 2012. There are even a couple side stories and spin-offs to the original light novels to this day. Though this show is considered one of the best in the mystery genre, the real reason why people come to this show is because of the main couple. And I couldn't be happier talking about them this month, which is the month of love. So without further ado, this is Gosick. Kazuya Kujo is a Japanese exchange student at St. Margaret Academy in the small country of Seville who is obsessed with ghost stories. The longer he stays at the academy, the more he starts thinking that those ghost stories may be real. Those suspicions turn out to be right when he enters the school's library and meets one of anime's smartest, sassiest tsunderes, Victorique de Blois, who is the daughter of one of the biggest assholes in anime history. But that's for later when I actually talk about characters. She apparently has the power to solve mysteries if she has enough evidence. Even just items are shown to her, and it turns out her detective older brother, with a hairdo meant to be on Yu-Gi-Oh!, doesn't even solve his own cases. Mysteries might not seem much at the very beginning, but trust me, this is one of those shows that has a whole conspiracy that has the mini mysteries lead up to that one conspiracy, and it involves this rat right here. When it comes to pacing and flow of the overall narrative, this show masters the formula. Admit it, when we first think of a mystery show, the first thing that comes to mind is Scooby-Doo. Each episode is as follows. There's a mystery, there's danger, then the mystery is solved. Of course, Gosick works the same way, sometimes in the span of 2 episodes. However, what makes the audience come back to each episode is that there is a bigger mystery in the mysteries that Victorique and Kazuya solved alone. Though there were some episodes that seemed like fillers, like when Victorique gets sick and can't go to school, it still connects to the overall mystery of Gosick, which is, who is Victorique and why is she here? I know that sounds like a horrible question to ask, but if you watch this show, you'll 100% understand. But Kate, what about Kazuya and Victorique's relationship? I was getting to that. Kazuya and Victorique can't be any more different of human beings. Kazuya is kind of the clean slate who explores something new in a country he's never been to before, though he seems educated enough since he came from a well-off family in Japan. Though he is the middle child, or youngest son of his family, I don't really know, the show kinda did not specify, he feels that he can accomplish something by going abroad, and he does end up accomplishing things. Victorique is a completely tragic backstory piggybacking off a tragic present and an even more tragic future. Victorique was basically born out of necessity because of some weird cultural prophecy. Apparently her mom came from some weird village who had people of a specific power, or at least her bloodline had a specific power. I don't know, it's very complex. And Mr. de Blois wanted that power for himself. So basically, despite Victorique being one of the most intelligent characters in anime, she's a tool. She's living on this planet to do her father's bidding, though Victorique would rather be dead. She puts up a huge front for other people because since her father and brother are such assholes, oh, I wish I could use another word for them here. How the hell can Victorique trust anyone? That is, until she meets Kazuya. But as I said before, they're complete opposites of each other. While she's basically the archetype for tsundere, Kazuya is gullible, wide-eyed, cheery, and always has a smile on his face, but at least he has a backbone. But it's because of Kazuya sticking to his guns and believing in the things he believes, like how the majority of humanity has some good in them. Victorique manages to become stronger because of Kazuya's inner strength. This dynamic works so well that the author in me is fangirling on the inside. I can't say that they are the most romantic couple in the world of anime because we don't see them do much that's romantic, but for Kazuya and Victorique, I don't think they needed so much attention. What already made them so perfect was how they managed to get out of situations, even those that tried to separate them through death. Victorique at one point sacrifices her precious necklace just so she can save Kazuya from falling to his death. And after she gets him out, she doesn't even care about the one thing that made her close to the mother she never knew. She only wanted Kazuya. These two need each other more than Victorique could ever imagine, and that is what makes these two characters so memorable. But let's not forget about our villain. Now we're finally gonna rip this jerk apart. With this guy, I don't think we need to go through that much detail, but I have a checklist to see how much of a jerkwad he really is. Is he the head of some evil society that supposedly is going to take over a part or the whole world? Check. Does he kidnap and rape a woman just so she can force to give birth to a child that's going to end up being abused? That's another check. Does he end up abusing that child by keeping her away from the rest of society, causing her to feel no emotions and basically treats herself like she's worthless? Check. Does he take pride in his adult son only to use him as a society tool so he can dump him on the side of the road as if he's meant nothing in the first place? Oh, absolutely. Does he have no regards for human life whatsoever except his own, so that he helps start a pointless war? That's 100 checks sent to the bank. The other side characters are good as well, but when it comes to the protagonists and the antagonists that we get in this show, not a lot compares to the development that we have that goes on in Gosick. It's not often that I consider how the animation of the environment looks, but never have I felt that I was more in a town in post-World War I Europe. The colors and tentacle tricks are blended so well together that it feels like I'm in a museum painting at times. You can tell that there is something magical in a historical fiction setting just by how everything is designed. Even the characters, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! Hair's design is magical to some extent. However, the most beautifully designed character is Victorique. In the anime, her appearance is always referred to as a doll-like appearance, and the anime really makes that known. Just watching Victorique in her emotionless positions makes my very spine shiver, because if she were to say boo if I were to approach this girl, I would have screamed at the top of my lungs. And the colors. When this series gets dark, it shows you effing dark. It looks as if the anime is going to swallow you alive. Every time I look at the show, I'm absolutely blown away by the artwork. Like, I want this in my room. If I thought the animation made everything look grand and important in this series, the music was definitely the top layer of this giant cake of indulgent goodness. My favorite parts of the soundtrack, though, are the openings and endings, especially the endings. The endings are powerful in a way that scream there is something bigger that is coming, so please continue watching the show. It was hard for me to choose which ending I love more because both of them are amazing, but I had to go with Resuscitated Hope because that was the ending that just screamed, There's more than meets the eye! The opening is also fantastic in its way of introducing the show to the audience. It has comedy, it has mystery, and it has suspense. There is nothing misleading about Destin History. I know there's a dub that came out recently, but that was not the version that I watched because I saw the English sub version a while back ago, back when the dub didn't exist or I couldn't find it for some odd reason. So if you guys are watching this video and you've seen the English dub, please tell me how it is because I'm pretty curious. Anyway, Gosick is one of my favorite shows of all time. I put this show on a pretty high pedestal, but after watching it, why not? This was one of the best anime I've ever seen. Horrible confession time. There are times in a show when I would fast forward some parts because they would last too long or I wasn't going to remember them later. I never did that with every single episode of Gosick. This show had me hooked from the very first minute to the very last second. I laughed, I cried, I smiled, I punched a wall. This show was everything I was looking for, not just in a mystery anime, but in an anime as a whole. So of course I would rate this series a perfect 10 out of 10, and it's not often that I would give it something I'd like to call the beating heart 10 out of 10. I don't give anime the beating heart 10 out of 10 that often. These are for shows that I believe everyone should watch for the sake of seeing best top quality anime. And as far as shows that I've personally rated like that was concerned, so far they are Kakegurui, Cleone no Akari, and Love Live Sunshine. That is very rare. So, for upcoming reviews, if you definitely see this symbol right here, that is a complete must-watch on my behalf. And Gosick deserves this symbol of approval right here. I'm Cait Cher, and it's been real. Ciao!